a real pleasure for me to be again here in Egypt and had the very representative delegation of Joint Institute for Nuclear Research. It is really unusual that 30 prominent scientists came and will talk, will present our laboratories, our research, and we all hope that it will certainly promote and deepen the collaboration between Joint Institute and Egyptian scientists. Of course, we have a lot of very famous and good facilities, but without manpower, these facilities are for nothing. So we are very much interested in collaboration, and the science is really international adventure. Without scientists from all over the world, without the specialists in various fields, it is impossible to do the science on a top level. So we hope that this meeting will promote and deepen the collaboration between our countries. I should stress that the Joint Institute is international organization. We have 18 member states and 6 associated countries also. So it is a really international institution, and we hope that Egyptian physicists will participate in this research within our institute. So I would like to wish you very interesting and fruitful talks, discussions, and hope that we will all profit from this meeting. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Lubinsky. Next is a word by Professor Sami Shaban, the Vice President of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority. Dr. Sami.
Vice Director of the Joint Institute of Nuclear Research, Professor Richard Lidensky, the President of Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, Professor Mahmoud Sakr, the Chair of National Network Science, NNS, Professor Tariq Hussein, the country delegates, the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the Chairman of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, Professor Atif Abdel Hamid, and on behalf of myself, I have the pleasure to be here with you in this important occasion, the Egyptian-Russian Workshop on Nuclear Science, marking the 5th anniversary of cooperation between the two countries in the field of fundamental theoretical and experimental nuclear science and their peaceful application. The cooperation with the Egyptian Academy of Science, Scientific Research and Technology, which represents the largest Egyptian foundation supporting the scientific research and innovation taking place in the Egyptian universities and research centers. This was the share of the Egyptian Atomic Energy Authority, which is the sole institution of excellence devoting for the development of utilization of nuclear science and technology for peace, welfare, safety and security of Egyptian society. I have also the honor to refer to the intention of Egypt and Russia since the 50s of the last century to develop and broaden economic, scientific, and technological cooperation in the peaceful applications of nuclear energy in accordance with the needs and the priorities of their nuclear programs, especially the Egyptian First Research Reactor ETRR-1. The Egyptian government represents here in the Ministry of Research and Technology, the ASRT, and the Atomic Energy Authority expresses its sincere gratitude and thanks to the Joint Institute of Nuclear Research, which represents a large multidisciplinary international scientific center where fundamental nuclear science and research is integrated with the workout and application of new science-intensive technology and the development of university education in the related fields of science in the creation of a number of nuclear science and technology community. This, of course, has a vital impact on Egyptian institutions to play an important role in the peaceful applications of nuclear energy through the existence and welcoming new regime of cooperation in the area of research and development in a wide range of scientific and technical directions. In this regard, I would like to welcome you and the Russian delegation to the one-day seminar on the next Thursday, the 5th of March, at the Atomic Energy Authority headquarters at Nasr City. At the end, I wish you all successful workshop and a good stay in Egypt. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Finally, final opening remarks by Professor Dr. Mahmoud Sak, the President of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear Professor Lydonetsky, Vice President of Joint Institute of Nuclear Research, Russia. Dear Professor Dr. Tariq Hussein, former President of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology and the coordinator of Egyptian Network for Nuclear Sciences. Dear Professor Dr. Dr. Sami Atalla, Vice President of Atomic Energy Authority. Dear distinguished guests, His Excellency Professor Dr. Nadia Zakhari, former Minister of Scientific Research and Technology. My dear colleague and friends, Dr. Dimitri, Director of International Cooperation, Joint Institute for Nuclear Research, Dr. Salman, all my colleagues, friends, professors, a very good morning. It's really a very great pleasure and honor for me, actually, to address you this morning and to deliver a speech to a group of prominent Russian and Egyptian professors and experts in the field of nuclear sciences. Actually, in this morning, we missed some of our colleagues also. We missed His Excellency Ambassador of Russia to Egypt. He is committed in another meeting now, just right now, with Russian National Security Consultant. We also missed our Minister, Dr. Sharif Hamad, who is in a mission in United Kingdom. It's really a great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, on behalf of Egyptian science, technology, and innovation communities, and on behalf of the State of Egypt. Taking this opportunity, I would like actually to thank very much and value very high the honest effort of my colleagues, professors in the organizing committee led by Dr. Professor Hussein al-Samman, and my colleagues at the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology. Today, I would say that Egypt has benefited a lot from the cooperation between ASRT and Joint Institute of Nuclear Research. Fortunately, I had the chance actually to follow this program closely, starting from 2009 when I was appointed for the first time as a Vice President of the Academy. And at that time, Dr. Tari was the president of the academy, was my boss, but now I am. We are running a lot of international cooperation program, many of international cooperation program with USA, with Germany, with France, with Japan, with South Korea, with most of the leading countries in the field of science and technology. And to be honest, this program is in the top of our international cooperation. Although the fund allocated for this program is almost very limited, something like $200,000 per year, $250,000 per year. It's actually represents nothing from our budget for international cooperation, something less than 5% from the governmental fund allocated for international cooperation. So I appreciate very much the effort, the so kind support of our colleagues and friends from Russia and from Joint Institute for Nuclear Research. During the last 5 years, several, maybe 100 of young researchers, Egyptian young researchers and juniors, had the chance to develop their capacity and research skills in the field of nuclear sciences through a regular and a very successful summer school headed by Dr. Salman. Each year, something like 20-25 young researchers had the chance to train, not only theoretical training. I myself had attended one of these meetings in Douma. They had the chance actually to visit and to work practically in the most important and the leading research institute in Europe in the field of nuclear physics. Sometimes they had the chance also to work in some reactor. And we appreciate again very much this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, the main objectives of today's workshops actually is to look at the achievements of 5 years of cooperation. It's some sort of impact assessment among professionals from GINR Institute and the professional from Egypt. We would like to frankly assess the impact. I'm quite sure that the impact is tangible, actually, and the very positive impact, at least on Egyptian science, technology, and innovation community in the field of physics, mathematics, and material science. We'd also like to propose our perspective for the future cooperation in the coming 5 years, especially in the new direction of the state of Egypt to make use of atomic or peaceful application of atomic energy in electricity production. So we are there need really to continue our effort to develop our capacities to technology transfer and hopefully also localization of technology in Egypt. So the workshop is an important. We are looking very much to the recommendation of the workshop. And on behalf of the Academy and the Ministry of Scientific Research, I would like to assure that the Academy is committed to develop this cooperation. We are committed actually to put extra money, extra effort to maximize the benefit from this cooperation. But this will be based on a very solid and tangible report, include positive and negative of the program during the last 5 years. I would like also to assure that we benefit from this program not only in the field of capacity building, but we also, or when I say we, I mean our colleagues, Egyptian scientists. We succeeded actually to publish many of international publication in relevant international journals. And this publication actually helped us to improve the rank of Egypt in the field of science, technology, and innovation. Again, this is an important outcome of this cooperation. A glance on the science, technology, innovation indicator in Egypt, we will see, and this can be easily recognized from international databases, that Egypt, among the 38 countries in the field of basic science, and in some area like chemistry, for instance, Egypt ranks 27 out of 225. So through international cooperation, we succeeded actually to improve our rank in the field of basic sciences, in the field of international publication. But to be honest, if you look at Global Competitiveness Index or Global Innovation Index, you will see also that Egypt, among the last 10 countries in this list, which include 144 countries. This simply means that the Egyptian science, technology, and innovation system has a very good capability to produce knowledge, but lacking the experience to transfer the knowledge into business and the economy. That's why the strategy or the main strategic direction of Egypt in the field of science and technology in the coming 5 years is focusing too much on two main pillars. The first pillar is to create enabling environment for science and technology, including very big international partnership program, capacity building, providing a center called facility in grid computing, in digital library, and so on. And at the same time also, the second main pillar of our strategic direction in the coming 5 years is to pay too much attention to technology transfer and the technology localization. Hopefully we will be able also to produce our own technology through a partnership with our friends in Russia and in other countries. At the end, I would like to thank you very much for your coming this event. I'd like to thank our colleagues from Russia, from Egypt, and I wish you all a very pleasant stay, fruitful workshop, and safe return to your home country, inshallah. Shukran jazilan.
Introduction to the Joint Institute for Nuclear Research, past, present, and future of this institution. And there will be a lot of talk about which will cover all our 7 laboratories. So I will be quite brief in this introduction. So Joint Institute is located north, about 120 kilometers north from Moscow, and it's in a very nice place, surrounded by water, River Volga, water power station, Ivankovskoye, water storage, and River Dubna, Sestra, so it's actually an island. Joint Institute was settled in 1956 in March, so this year we will celebrate 59 years of its birthday. So you may see that at the origin of this institute there were 12 countries, but now we have 18 member states, so they are listed on this slide. And there are also so-called associated countries. Among them is Egypt, Germany, Hungary, Italy, the Republic of South Africa, and Serbia. We can say that the institute is based on so-called 3 pillars. First of all, it is great experience and worldwide recognized tradition of scientific schools. We have a very large and unique park of basic facilities, and the status of international intergovernmental organization is also very important. So concerning the first pillar, you may see on this slide the first famous directors of the institute, Nikolai Bogolyubov and Dmitry Prokhintsev, and the number of famous scientists, Nobel Prize winner Ilya Frank, well-known Italian physicist Bruno Pontecorvo, and many others. The institute is famous due to a number of discoveries. So some of these are listed here, and you may see that the subject of scientific research is quite wide. So you may see discoveries in non-radiative transition in mesoatoms, anti-sigma minus hyperon, discovery of the element 105, which is called after dubnium. Post-radiative regeneration of cells, it's radiobiology, quark counting rule, it's high energy particle physics, phenomenon on slow neutron confinement, and so on, and a lot of new elements have been observed in last decade, so-called super heavy elements. So our main basic facilities are listed on this slide. So you may see first of all superconducting heavy ion machine, nucleotron, and based on this machine there is now realized project so-called NICA, nucleotron-based ion collider facility. Then there is a complex of isochronous cyclotrons in laboratory of nuclear reactions, impulse reactor and source of resonance neutrons are our sources of neutrons which are used for studies in solid state physics and nuclear physics with neutrons. And very old accelerator, by the way, it was the biggest cyclotron in the world that time when it started in 47. And it is now used practically only for hadron therapy. The important point in our institute is that we have agreement between the government of the Russian Federation and we have some privileges which are stated in this document, and it is important for the organization of the work of the Institute in Russian Federation. The Institute has a very wide international cooperation, so you may see that we have more than 700 institutions as our partners in about 60 countries. This is important, as I already mentioned in my introductory speech. Science is a really international adventure. So the scientific policy, the science policy of the Institute is based on 7-year plans. So we are now near the end of the second seven-year plan. And also we have a roadmap for a longer period of time. And this is important because without long-term planning, it is impossible to do ambitious scientific projects. So the Institute pay attention not only to the fundamental science, but also to educational program, because without young generation, there is no future. And also we pay attention to innovation activities, which is important for member states, because without impact economy, the science is considered not so useful as it could be. So the governing body of the and the structure of the Institute is shown on this slide. So you see that the main body is Committee of Plenipotentiaries, made from representatives of our 18 member states. Then there is Scientific Council, which is international body, and it states the science policy of the Institute. And there are 3 program advisory committees for particle physics, nuclear physics, and condensed matter physics. We have 7 laboratories, and so I will show maybe the Committee of Plenipotentiary, Scientific Council, and our laboratory. So you may see that there are Jelepov Laboratory of Nuclear Problems, Wechsler and Baldin Laboratory of High Energy Physics, Bogolyubov Laboratory of Theoretical Physics, Frank Laboratory of Neutron Physics, Florov Laboratory of Nuclear Reactions, Laboratory of Radiation Biology, and the Laboratory of Information Technologies. All the laboratories are presented here in this workshop, and there will be special reports about achievements and plans of these laboratories. I should say that each laboratory represents some size of the Institute, from several hundred, maybe biggest laboratory have 900 people. So the present 7-year plan is concentrated on our 3 main directions. So first of all, it is the building up the nucleotron-based ion collider facility. Then the complex of cyclotrons in laboratory of nuclear reactions, particularly super heavy element factories under construction at present, and modernization of IBR-2M impulse reactor and the detectors around this facility. Some figures about the Joint Institute. So our staff represents about 4,500 people, out of them about 1,000 researchers, including 400 people but Russian. There is very high level of our scientific workers. So you may see that about 1,000. So most of them have some degrees in science. So as you can see on the budget, so you may see that the budget is annually increasing by about 12 to 15%, and at present it amounts about to 180 million of US dollars, and at the end of 7 years, 7-year plan, it will be somewhat more than 200 million of US dollars per year. So the basic scientific directions, so it is of course high energy physics, nuclear physics, condensed matter physics, including radiobiology, and there are of course supporting activities, theory in all these directions. Very important activity is networking and computing, because without this it is not possible to do science at present, and of course training of young staff in our university center. So some words about particle physics. So we have a long-standing tradition with the accelerator. So there was, I already mentioned, the cyclotron, which continues to work up to now. Was that time in early 80s? It was the biggest cyclotron. Then there was biggest synchrophasotron, Tsar accelerator, which was working up to 2002. And then it was substituted by a superconducting cyclotron of heavy ions in 1993. And presently we are developing, based on this superconducting accelerator, the complex NICA, nucleotron-based ion collider facility. So it should be stressed that NICA is it is a collider in the energy range where the maximum net baryonic density in the laboratory can be achieved. So you can compare it with, for example, with RIC at Brookhaven or LHC at CERN, where you have very high energies but practically zero net baryonic density. So it is a different region of QCD phase diagram, and it is a very important field of research, which is now considered by world community in this field. So you can see here the present situation. So we have nucleotron, fixed target area, linear accelerator. Then it should be built new LINAC, linear accelerator, booster, and collider. So there are some parameters shown here. So the energy range in center of mass nucleon system is from 4 to 11 GeV. There will be very rich nomenclature of the beams from protons to gold, with very high luminosity, 10 to the 27. And also there will be polarized proton and deuteron beams, which is also important because there are still unsolved problems. We do not actually know what is the reason for proton spin. So what is the fraction carried of the spin carried by quarks, gluons, and orbital angular momentum. So I already mentioned between important persons which worked in the institute, Bruno Pontecorvo. So with his name it is related the so-called phenomenon of neutrino oscillations, and our institute participate in major projects in neutrino physics, and we consider two projects, particularly Baikal project on the Lake Baikal, gigavolume detector, and the project at Kalinin nuclear power plant as our home projects, and there will be special talk about them. I think you will listen to them with interest. So there are very interesting phenomena which we hope to be studied using these detectors. So we have a lot of external activities in particle physics. So you may see here some laboratories: CERN, FNAL, BNL, DESI, GSI, Ian Dupetrua, ENFN, RICEN, and we collaborate with more than 100 institutions from member states in the field. So some projects are shown here. So we have very close collaboration with CERN, both at Large Hadron Collider and Super Proton Cyclotron. So now I will not go to the details, but I should stress that we have a special relations with CERN. Cooperation with CERN spans over than 50 years, and CERN is our main partner in particle physics. There was important event last year when CERN Council and Joint Institute Committee of Plenipotentiary confirmed the status of observers. So CERN is observer in Joint Institute is an observer at CERN. And this, we hope, will promote and intensify our cooperation in future. In nuclear physics, I think that the famous results are coming from laboratory of nuclear reactions, thanks to very good, I would say the best cyclotrons in the world, and in fact it allowed to approach so-called island of stability. So you may see the lifetime, this red color means that in this region there is expected lifetime of the order of million years, but unfortunately we have only at this border. So we remember that there were observed the super heavy elements from 113 up to 118. So we are only at the border of this island, but even these elements also show increased lifetime, and we for sure believe in the existence of this island. And the development of this laboratory is tracking, or its goal is to go closer to this region of this island of stability. So here you may see this. All these elements have been observed in last decade in Joint Institute, and two of them already got their names: fluorovium after academician Florov, and livermorium after Livermore Laboratory, which provided the target material for these experiments. So this new accelerator is new cyclotron is now under construction, and we hope that during next 2 years it will be put into operation, and we hope that new fantastic results will come from this facility. In the field of condensed matter physics, we have this famous pulse reactor. The idea is belonging to Dmitry Blokhintsev. So you have a reactor which for a short period of time is in overcritical conditions. So you have a very intensive pulse of neutrons. So you may see the average power is 2 megawatt, but in the pulse it's about 1,000 times more. And this accelerator is one of the best sources of thermal neutrons. So this figure is not very good, but you can believe me that it is on the top level of the best pulse neutron sources in the world. So there is some timetable of the development.